So now let's look at breathing, the powerhouse behind the voice. We're going to start with a quick exercise. Take a sharp breath in without thinking when I clap my hands together after the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Did you find that you breathed from your chest, or that your head came up, or your back tensed? This is a normal response when it comes to breathing. However, when we breathe only from the chest, we also constrict the vocal cords. What we need to do is to learn to sing from the diaphragm, which is a huge wall of muscle shown in red on the diagram, that basically splits the body in two and is situated under the ribs. When we use the diaphragm as the power behind the voice, it then leaves the vocal cords, and hence the note, free from any tension. Easier said than done, you might think. So we're going to start to retrain the body to breathe from the diaphragm, first of all using a yoga breathing technique. Before we start the exercise, I strongly suggest you stand when practicing. You connect with your whole body and especially the diaphragm. I've had students who've sung sitting down, so it is of course perfectly possible. It just makes singing that bit harder. So what we're going to do is split the breathing process into 3 separate parts. Each time we're going to focus on the centre of the action, in this case the stomach. Imagine you have a string that starts just below the belly button. Moving just the centre of the stomach, take a breath in and imagine that the string is being pulled out. Hold for 2 and then pull the stomach back in. Think of it like you're relaxing the muscles of the stomach, i.e. the breath is moving the muscles and you're not simply pushing the stomach out. Letting the stomach come out and resisting the temptation to breathe up can seem weird at first, since we're so used to breathing just with the chest and for thinking up as we breathe. However, as I mentioned earlier, this just puts tension on the vocal cords and constricts the voice. The emotion memory of the body will help you breathe automatically over time, so if you find it really difficult, persevere for a few days and it should get a lot easier. We're going to breathe in for 4, hold for 2, then out for 4. So breathe in, hold 1, 2, and I'll just do that breath again. So breathe in, don't worry that you're going to be sticking your stomach out, especially a point for the ladies and possibly gents. I wouldn't want to discriminate. The focus is the solar plexus when singing, but we need to use the stomach to facilitate that action. In other words, it helps support the breath rather than being the focal point. We're going to do this part of the exercise again, and this time also relax here as you breathe in, where the spine meets the pelvis. So breathe in, hold 1, 2, and out. And again, relax and breathe in, hold 1, 2, and out. And now the diaphragm. Imagine you have a string connected on either sides of the body at the base of the ribs. As you breathe in, the ribs come out. As you breathe out, the ribs move back in. You're doing it right if you can feel that the muscles of the back behind the ribs are also filling out with air. The movement starts at the solar plexus, which is the centre of the body, and moves out sideways towards the ribs, i.e. moving the ribs out sideways. Yet again, relax the solar plexus as you breathe in for 4, hold for 2, then out for 4. Remember to start at the centre of the solar plexus and then come back to the centre. So breathe in, hold 1, 2. You can tell if you're doing it right because the 2 big muscles of the back behind the ribs feel like they're filling out with air. And let's try it again. Breathe in, hold 1, 2, and out. It's almost like you're relaxing and flattening the solar plexus as you breathe in. If you find this really hard to do, find a friend or a passing stranger and get them to put their hands on either side of your ribs as you breathe in and out. Breathe into their hands and then away from them as you breathe in and out. And now the upper chest. This is usually a really developed part of the breath, as we saw earlier from the quick breath exercise. We're finding the centre of the chest and breathe in and out like a dog panting in the sun. in, out. Now we're going to put all three together. Breathing in for 6, hold for 2, then out for 6. I like to think of it as 2 lines of energy going up the body and then back down again. Starting just below the belly button again, we move up the body for 6, hold for 2, then back down again. Stomach, diaphragm, chest to the center of the chest where we're just panting, hold for 2, then back down again, chest, diaphragm, stomach. If you're doing it right, you'll have a lot more breath breathing out than you did breathing in. Think of it like a relay race, starting in the stomach, then the diaphragm, then the upper chest, holding for 2, then back down again, like a flower opening or a wave. Try to keep relaxed as you breathe and resist the temptation to force the breath as you reach the diaphragm and feel that it's opening and smiling, that your whole body is relaxing and opening up, i.e. gently moving sideways. So let's try it. Relax and breathe in. Now we're going to do this exercise again, only this time gently tuck in your tailbone, relax your knees, and elongate your back at the same time. As you elongate your back, also elongate the back of your neck so your chin is parallel to the floor. So you feel like the whole of your back is gently elongating. So breathe in. Notice that being aware of the back when singing makes a huge difference. You can take in more breath and the whole body feels more connected.